Hi, welcome to Door to Door with your host, me, Judy Stakee. Join me as I travel all over interviewing songwriters about their process. Hi, I'm sitting here today with Eve Nelson, an amazing songwriter, composer, producer, and arranger, and lover of dogs.
Yes.
Say hello to Tabasco. Eve has made a wonderful career for herself writing songs for film and television and is the premier go-to writer that studios, music supervisors call when they have a project that needs to be done. One of the great highlights I want to mention, though, of your career is conducting the London Philharmonic at Abbey Road with Chaka Khan.
Yeah, it was very hard to come down from that. That was 2005.
Oh, not so long ago either.
No, but it was really, it was my dream to conduct a symphony and to use all the skills that I had had from all the years of study.
Right.
So,
well, off the bucket list.
Yeah,
there you
off
go.
the bucket list, yeah.
So what are you up to now?
I am doing everything from having to come up with string quartet pieces overnight for scenes for new pilots for ABC. I'm doing a lot of stuff for Newsroom, the show, the HBO show.
I love that show. Great
show. I get called for a lot of emergency projects. I'm constantly working with Good Morning America, 2020.
Wow.
My career is everything, like I said, everything from composing and arranging a scored scene to having to come up with an immediate song behind a scene. Mm-hmm. So right now, I'm like I said, my main clients are Disney, ABC, HBO, NBC. The list goes on.
That's great.
Yeah,
nice list to have.
I really very blessed. Very blessed. Yeah.
So you ready for some questions?
Absolutely.
Okay, here we go. How did we meet?
How did you and I meet?
Yeah.
We met through other songwriters, I believe. You were managing other songwriters. We was it? I think it was Lindsay Rush that we met through.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. One down. Not
All
only
right.
9 more to go.
Did I answer right? Is that good? Good answer?
That was a good answer. What is your creative process?
It depends on how much time I have. Truthfully, it depends on the deadline. But my creative process is because it is mostly assignment based. It is usually listening to other things and getting inspired by other things, and collaboration is very important for me concerning the creative process. I do love to collaborate with top liner writers. That always, other writers that bring a lot to the table is where I'm my best.
Mm. What inspires you to get up every day and do this?
Great question. Sometimes money. Sometimes money. Truthfully, that's the but before money, I think first of all, there's just nothing else I want to do, there's nothing else I want to do outside of sharing and loving and your basic human needs and eating. There's nothing else I really want to do. That's what gets me up in the morning.
What is the best piece of advice you've been given in this business?
I love this question. And I have a great answer. Years ago, when I lived in New York, I was probably in my late 20s, and I was doing a record for a gospel artist named Tremaine Hawkins, and the producer, I was co-producing it with a guy named Marty Paich, who is David Paich's father, who did all the great string arrangements for Barbra Streisand, and he was just a great producer, arranger, brilliant guy. And we had I'll never forget this phone conversation. I was blessed because he was still alive. And he said, Eve, I had been going through a lot of tough business things. And he said, Eve, find your family. Find your creative family and your business family and surround your tent with love and people who believe in you and people who really get what you're doing and you get what they're doing. That was the best advice I ever got. And whenever I wouldn't listen, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And when I would go outside of that, I would get bitten. I call it getting bitten. But I stay very much inside of that advice right now, and it has changed my life in every way. And my career is not only filled with great work, but it's filled with great love. And that's what it's about for me. So thank you, Marty.
Do you have a great co-writing tip out there for budding young songwriters?
I do. I think the key to collaboration, at least for me, is to sit with your collaborator and really get honest and vulnerable. I usually have like a 2-hour psych session prior to writing a song with whomever I'm writing with. And I think that in co-writing, is that what you're asking me?
Oh, yes.
Okay. In co-writing, I think it's really important to feel safe in the room with whomever you're writing with.
Yeah.
And I think that means divulging, secrets and whatever, not secrets necessarily, but just, letting them in to know who you are and vice versa. Those are the best songs I've ever written when there is a safety in the room.
A safety to be vulnerable.
A safety to be vulnerable, yes.
So if you could have any superpower in the world, what would it be and why?
Wow. I would have the power to remove everyone's fear, including my own.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes.
You can start with me.
That would be my wish, to have that kind of power.
Right.
Yeah.
What would you do for a living if you didn't do this?
Honestly, I would probably do something in the form of psychology or spirituality work.
Yeah, I get
That is my great love and passion, is to understand myself and humanity in general. So that's probably what I would do.
That's lovely.
Or food. But if I did food, it probably wouldn't be a good thing. I'd be 300 pounds instead of whatever. So yeah, that's what I would do. Mm-hmm.
Cool. What's your least favorite word to use in a song?
Oh, wow. I would say love, the word love, because I think it's so unnecessary to say the word love. Either describe it, be it, own it, but don't say it, because it registers as contrived whenever I hear the word love in a song.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
If you could write with any artist out there, who would it be and why?
I've always had a dream to work with, there's two, so it's a tough one for me. But I would say I'd love to write with, the singer-songwriter that I'd love to write with is Sarah McLachlan. She's one of my favorites, and what she does with words, I've never known anybody to do with words with what she does. And so she would be my fantasy to write with. Yeah. Different from production, just to sit in the room and write.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. What keeps you musically current?
Well, in TV and film, I have no choice, because I'm always getting asked to work on something that well, actually, not necessarily current. They like a lot of eclectic sounding things, which I love. I love TV and film for that reason, because they're always kind of looking at these sort of outside of the box artists, not your sort of in the box pop artists. But what really keeps me current is I work with so many young artists and songwriters, and when they come in here, the first thing they say is go to YouTube and listen to this and listen to that. So I'm constantly up on new things that are coming out.
Don't you just love YouTube? Oh,
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's how I stay current.
Current, exactly. So before we go, I have one last question. I asked you before if you had any great advice that you had been given, but what I'd like to know is, do you have any advice that you would like to give our audience of aspiring songwriters?
Yes. I would say try to fearlessly go out and listen and study to everything you've always loved. Definitely try to go to the greats. Don't be wedded to what's new and popular. Go study from the greats, and don't be afraid to be vulnerable. That's the biggest one in your learning process. Don't fearlessly jump off that cliff, and don't be afraid of rejection. And if you sound weird or funny, let it all hang out. That's who I think the great writers become, the ones that are fearless.
Such great advice.
Good.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
Appreciate
Judy.
it. Thank you, Tabasco.
Thank you. Mwah. So much fun.
Yeah.
We enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Bye.